Hey folks, Tim here from Rockout Videography again with a short review of the cheapest drum practice pad and stand combo I could find on Amazon. We're going to compare it to this cheap pad and stand that we bought separately and show you a simple trick at the end of the video for reducing the amount of sound these things make. Stick around. We're going to try to help you figure out if this pad and stand combo are the right choice for you. We've already covered the history of drum practice pads and snare stands in the video we did on these two pieces of gear. Altogether, these two items will cost you about $45.94, 46 bucks. You can buy this combo pack from Kmise for $37.89, basically 38 bucks. It also comes with a pair of sticks that makes this combo pack about $8. But is it any good? The package arrived in 2 days and came in the standard Amazon shipping box. Inside, the pad, stand, and sticks came in one single box. The stand came in two pieces and everything was wrapped in plastic or cellophane. The stand is easy to put together and is adjustable for height. I was wondering if the stand would end up being the exact same one we bought from Yesol, but it turns out that it's not. You can see here that the bottom tripod part is very different. The angle adjustment where the basket connects to the center post is also different on the Kmise version. There are a few other minor differences that can be noticed if you look closely. The pad is two-sided and is slightly larger in diameter than the Kabaga pad at 11 9/16 of an inch. The 10-sided compressed fiberboard looks like it could have been sourced from the same place. It's exactly the same except for the diameter, including the bevel routing. One side has a textured hard rubber surface that is about 4 millimeters thick. It gets scuffed up easily because of the texture, but that's not really an issue. The other side is covered with a thin neoprene type material that's basically the same as the other side of the Kabaga pad. The pad will stay put if it's on a table, especially when the hard rubber side is down. It fits on my snare drum without having to move the mic out of the way if I decide to use it that way, which some people do. The sticks are just cheap sticks. They're fine and there just isn't really anything else to say about them. I'll show you a demo and compare these two pads, but first, if you don't mind, we'd appreciate it if you hit the subscribe and like buttons. This helps out the creators here on YouTube when you do this for us because, among other things, it prompts the algorithm to show our videos to more people. If you are into nerdy t-shirts, we have a bunch of original designs like this one in our merch store. Thanks. All right, here's our demo. Now, first things first, I own a drum set, but that doesn't make me a drummer. I'm basically just beginner level, all right? So keep that in mind. So here's what the rebound is like on this thing. Right, now let's compare it to the Kabaga pad. It feels to me like this has a little less rebound, and I've noticed that the rubber is definitely harder. It's a little bit softer, right? Now, one of the things that they advertised in this is that it was quieter than other similar pads. I don't think that's true. Now, this isn't a scientific test. I'm not hitting these things with the exact same pressure every time, but this one to me, this one's definitely louder. Mrs. Rockout did another non-scientific test for me. She was downstairs, and I played both of them like blind test for her, and she said this one definitely sounded louder all the way down the stairs, all right? But it does have rebound. It is playable, and it is good. All right, let's look at the neoprene side. Okay. This is the neoprene side. I think that's quieter than the other side. Not as much bounce back. But the neoprene side is probably quieter. If you're concerned about noise, I would probably use this side. All right, so let's talk about the stand real quick. When we tested this snare stand right here, the one from Yesel that's here on the Kabaga pad, I tested it with my snare drum. I'm not going to do that this time because if you're buying this as a combo, then you're probably not concerned about that, right? You're just using it with the practice pad. But this stand is not quite as stable as the other one because of the length of the legs. I've got them at I've got them at just about the same height here. But this stand works. It's fine. Will it fit a snare drum? I have no doubts that it will. It's not going to be as stable as this stand, and this one was kind of like on the borderline. Some people would say yeah, some people would say no. But if you're buying this as a combo, then you're not worried about a snare because when you buy a drum set, it's going to come with its own stand, so that will be fine. But I would say that this one is a little less stable, but it's stable enough, okay? And also, it is a little bit shorter because of the bottom part, and it's adjustable down here, but the bottom line is, yeah, it's fine. It's better than fine. It's great. You can use this to practice rudiments and start your journey towards learning drums. This pad and stand combo is fairly lightweight and portable. You can pick it up and carry it around the room without any issue. And like any other pad or stand, it doesn't take up much space. You can easily break it down and fit it all in a small backpack without any issues if you need to. But honestly, it's probably just easier to keep it all together when transporting it in a car somewhere, like to school or drum lessons. As long as you don't let it move around, I think it would be okay to transport it like this and avoid the inconvenience of having to set it up and take it apart every time. Perhaps a bungee cord or some rope to keep it from sliding around could be helpful. So if I already have a pad and stand, why did I buy this combo? Well, let me tell you what's been going on lately here in the studio. As my two teenage kids have started to get serious about playing music, some of their friends who hang out here are also taking an interest, including some who regularly play the drum set. One of them has been showing improvement every time they come over, but doesn't have the ability to practice at home. We now have a loaner pad and stand that we can let kids borrow if they show an interest without their parents having to invest in anything until they know for sure that they're going to really stick with this. This brings me to who this pad and stand combo are really good for. If you're a parent who has a kid that wants to play drums, you're in the same type of dilemma that any parent finds themselves in when their kid wants to learn to play an instrument. In this case, buying a drum set is going to be a very expensive investment, and the truth is most people, especially kids who start out wanting to play, quickly lose interest and give up when they find out how much work and practice is involved. By spending less than $50 on this pad and stand, you can find out if your future prospective drummer is actually going to be committed enough to put in the time to practice and progress. If they don't, you're not out hundreds of dollars for a drum set that just sits in the garage gathering dust. Most drummers, especially those that get some sort of formal music education in school or take drum lessons, will be starting out on a practice pad. This pad and stand may be a great choice for a school music program that needs practice pads for their students. Many drummers continue to use practice pads throughout their lives to practice rudiments and fundamentals. If they take care of it, this pad and stand may get many years of use from your kid, even after they eventually get a drum set. Everything we just talked about also applies to adults who may be interested in learning to play. I have noticed an improvement in my meager drumming abilities since I started practicing more with my pad. Remember, I told you I would show you a trick for making these pads quieter. Okay, as promised, here's my little simple trick for helping to reduce the amount of sound that your pad is making. So what I did was I just took the pad and I placed it neoprene side down on this large towel, gathered up the corners, kind of squeezed it up tight, and then just used a hair tie to tie it off. And what you end up with is a cover on this, and now you've got a bunch of cloth underneath it that's helping to dampen and reduce the amount of sound that's coming out through the bottom when you hit it, because that's also a part of it. Is it making it totally silent? No, but it's reducing the sound a little bit. So if you're a parent and you're going to buy this for your kid and you don't want to hear this sound all day long, then this is probably helpful. Again, roommates, whatever it is that you're dealing with, to just sort of reduce the amount of aggravation people around you will experience. This is a helpful trick. Obviously, the thicker the towel, the more dampening you're going to get. It's never going to be completely silent, but this will help. Overall, I think that this combo pad and stand are a great buy for someone who wants to get started on playing drums and doesn't have or doesn't want to spend a bunch of money at the beginner stage. I'm just a beginner, so I would be very interested in what experienced drummers think about all this. Please leave a comment and let us know what your experiences with practice pads has been like. If you are just starting out and this video was helpful to you, we would like to hear about that as well. Thanks for staying to the end. We hope you enjoyed the video and found it entertaining and useful. Until next time, have a great day.